Hey everyone, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing 3 looks, 1 palette, as you can see by the title already, with the Kaleidos Flower Punk palette. I had reservations about this initially. Wasn't totally blown away by the color story, but I've actually come to really enjoy it and really appreciate it. And I've actually found this to be really inspiring, and I've loved all of the looks that I've created with this. I kind of span the range. I tried to do one that was really soft and neutral, one that kind of incorporated the greens, and then this one which I'm using like a lot of shades. And I mean, you know, intros, how important are they really? You know what's coming. Let's just get into the 3 looks. And I give my thoughts on this palette at the end of the video, and I will have everything else that I used on my face in the description box below. Hello, please excuse my yellow teeth. Today is the first, or this is the first look using the Kaleidos Flower Punk palette. Please excuse me blinding you with this mirror. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to do a pretty soft look today using just these 3 like rosy mauve-y shades. Definitely softer than I normally go for, but I think it's going to be good. So we'll see. So I'm going to just start with this shade Peach Soju. I'm not even going to use a transition shade or anything. I'm just going to put this all over my lid and basically blend it everywhere. Please excuse the birds. I know they're loud, but it's just so hot in here that I have to have my window open. And I have primed my eyes using the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base, and I've set my lids as well. And I'll do that through all of these looks. Okay, so that blended really beautifully. I'm just going to lightly dust over the edge of that with a clean brush, but I mean, it's not intense and it basically blended itself. Now I'm going to go into the shade Nouveau. It's this darker mauve, and I'm going to try my best to like build this up and see how intense I can get it, because I'm already mourning the lack of depth that this look is gonna have. So we're just gonna see, but I'm just gonna put this through my outer corner of my crease, but I'm probably just gonna bring it like 75% of the way. I'm not gonna bring it like all the way through my crease. And I'd just also like to say that half of this dewiness is highlighter, half of it is sweat. It's like a pretty good 50-50 mix. Just to keep the illusion alive, you know. Okay, so I think I built that up pretty well. Maybe not my ideal amount of depth, but we're working with what we got. And then I'm just going to blend the edges of that shade out with the brush that I used the Peach Soju shade on. And then I'm just going to take a little touch more of that because we blended the depth away a little bit, and just bring that through my crease. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a little bit more of Peach Soju on my brush and blend that kind of all over my lid just to re-intensify it. And maybe take a little bit of that as well and blend that around the edge. And now I'm going to take the shade Stained Glass. This is a really pretty like pink peach duochrome. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Let me see if I could focus it. We'll see. And then I'm just going to pat this all over my lid, very sheer. I'm not trying to have it like super opaque and intense, but I'm basically just going to pat this everywhere and bring it up probably like up to my brow as well. It's almost more cool toned when I put it on my eyes than I feel like I would expect, but I think it does have like a pretty warm peachy shift. And then I'm going to take Nouveau and use that to deepen the crease, or not the crease, the lower lash line. And then for my inner corner, I'm just going to take that Stained Glass shade, the pink shade. I'm going to use my pinky and tap that just in my inner corner as well, just basically wrapping that all around. And then I might take a little bit of my face highlighter. I'm using Star Surfer from Kaleidos. And I'm going to take that and just like kind of dust that in my inner corner as well, just to lighten it up a teensy bit. And then, where is my little brush here? Then I'm also going to take just a touch of that on my brow bone. And that's basically the look done. It's super simple, very light. This to me is like out of my comfort zone where I don't typically do looks this soft, but it was really quick, really easy. The shadows are so easy to work with, so it's literally 3 shadows that I just blended all over my eye. Really pretty for summer too. It's like pinky tones, mauve tones. I do wish that this Nouveau shade was deeper, but let me just finish up the rest of my face and then I'll be back to conclude. Okay, and this is the finished look. I ended up going very dark with my lipstick. I went with the Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink in the shade Huntress. I just thought because the eyes were so soft, I could go pretty bold on the lips, and I've been wanting to wear this for a while. My lip line is out of control. So let's just move on past that. I actually like this. If I'm gonna do a softer look like this, I almost feel the need to wear lashes. I mean, I always wear lashes for YouTube and Instagram, but this is like the way that I can feel most comfortable. I know that sounds maybe weird, but I rarely go for looks this soft, but I actually like it more than I thought I would. I did use a black on my outer corner, and I would actually consider wearing this again. I think it's really pretty and super easy. Honestly, like I said before, it's just 3 shades. Nouveau definitely could be deeper though, because this is not that deep, especially because I'm also so fair. So if you are deeper than me, these 2 shades are going to be pretty light. But I'm, as you can see, melting. So let's just go into the second look. Okay, hello, welcome to the second look using the Kaleidos Flower Punk palette. I'm going to do a halo eye today. I'm going to use this mint and then also some of these greens down here. So I'm going to start with the shade Mint Fever, which I actually haven't, this is the only shade I haven't used on my eyes yet. And I'm not going to go into with any transition shade or anything. I'm going to just go right in. I want to keep these tones like as true as I can to what they look like in the pan. So I'm just going to put this mint shade. To me, this, I guess it's a mint. I don't know why, I just think it's teal, but I'm just gonna put this on the outer half of my eye and bring it halfway through my crease. Please excuse the birds. I know they're loud, but I gotta have my window open. Okay, that blended really beautifully and it built up well as well. Now I'm going to take the shade Golden Age. It's this really beautiful like mustardy green. It's kind of right in between a mustard and a green. And then I'm just going to put this on the inner part of my eye and meet that to the mint shade. Meet that in the middle. Meet the mint shade in the middle. Meet it in the middle. You know what I mean. I'm just gonna give that a quick little blend around the edges very lightly. I'm not trying to take any like color away. Now I'm going to take the shade Earthship. It's this mossy green. I'm gonna take this on a little brush. I'm going to concentrate this on the inner and the outer corner, obviously, because it's a halo eye, and connect it through in the middle through my crease. Because with my halo eyes, I like to keep depth all the way through my crease. The trick, I feel, is going to be how this green shade blends into the mint. Okay, so I'm just going to take each brush that I used for each color and just use those to blend out the Earthship shade. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly cut my crease just in the middle and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of the Mint Fever shade and just tap that on my lid. And then also do the same thing with the shade Golden Age. And then I'm just going to go back into the shade Earthship, that dark green, and just intensify the outer and inner corners. And then I'm going to take a touch of that as well. Actually, I'm going to take a smaller brush to do this, like just a very tiny one, and just tap that into Earthship and just go over the edge. I've gone back and forth about what I want to do. Ooh, I just don't know. Part of me wants to go into Sun Gazer. Actually, this may be crazy. Okay, this may be a little bit crazy. I'm gonna do it though. So I'm going to start with the shade Aloe Cove. Or do I want to put the pink maybe just in the middle? Do I want to do that? Okay. Actually, maybe I just want to take the pink. I've gone back and forth between all of this. I'm going to take the shade Stained Glass. Yes. Oh, I'm so good flipping. Okay, give me a minute. That would look really pretty. So would this, so would this. They all would look really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna, oh my god. I'm gonna go with my original plan. We'll see how this goes. So I'm gonna take the shade Aloe Cove, that mint. I haven't used this all over my lid yet. And I'm going to just take this on a flat little brush. I'm gonna give that a spray. And I'm going to put this on 1/2 of my crease. Or no, not my crease, my lid. That's closest to the outside, closest to the mint shade. I don't know how this is gonna look. It may look horrible, but we're just gonna see, okay? We're just gonna see. That's a really pretty shade. I really, really like that. And then I think I'm just gonna just quickly wipe that brush off. And now I'm going to go into the shade Sun Gazer. I'm gonna spray this as well. And I'm going to put this on the second half of my lid, closer to the shade Golden Age. I think that looks kind of cool. So I'm just gonna go into like, I have either of the shade on either side of this brush, just a little, and I'm just gonna go back and forth and blend the two together. I think that's even as I'm realistically gonna get it. I might just take a touch of each of the shades, so Mint Fever, and just blend that onto my lid just to merge everything together. And then I'm also gonna take Golden Age and merge that on my lid as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to, you know what? For my brow bone, I'm just going to take my face highlighter, which is the Space Age Prophecy highlighter from Kaleidos. and just pop that on there. It's definitely a lot, but it's fun, so I'm going to just use it. And then I'm going to, oh, I guess now I'm going to do my lash line, my lower lash line. So I think I just want to keep it minty. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, I just want to have it like one solid color. So I'm going to take Mint Fever and run this all along my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take the shade Earthship and use that to deepen my lower lash line up. And then I'm just going to intensify the lid colors with my fingers. And then for my inner corner, I think because there's so much going on in the eyes, I'm also just going to use my face highlighter just to present a little bit of balance. So again, I'm going to use the Space Age Prophecy. I might give that a little spray as well and just put this on my inner corner. Oh my god, that looks so cool. I literally, this is actually the second time that I have used this, but it's so cool. I want to wear it like every day. Okay, I'm in love. Now I'm going to hop off camera to my finish up my face, and then I'll be back. Okay, and this is the finished look. I really like it. I was unsure of how it was gonna look overall, but I think it's like different, something that I haven't really done before. I love the inner corner. I was unsure of how it was gonna go with like the greens, but I feel like the oranges really like complement it, and because this highlighter has that green shift, I just think it looks really, really cool. I'm really happy with this. So I just put a little bit of black in my inner and under corner. I just used the black from the Sci-Fi Green palette, RIP. And on my lips is like my recent go-to nude combo for me. I use the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in 506 and Listening Cow, and then the Colourpop lipstick in Butter. I really want to get more like nude lipsticks because I don't have a ton of like really nude lipsticks. I find them a little bit difficult to find, but this has just been what I've been gravitating to recently when I want like a neutral toned nude lip. Let me know what you think, and let's get into the third look. Okay, and welcome to the final out look using the Kaleidos Flower Punk palette. Today I think I'm going to use a lot of different shades. I think I'm just going to try to use like as many as I can. Basically, I'm going to start with the shade Chlorophyll. It's this really beautiful like bright slimy green. I'm just going to run this through my crease as a transition shade. Today I'm going to be doing a half cut crease, which is actually not a shape that I do often, so I think it's going to be a new and exciting shape for me. Now I'm going to go into the shade Mint Fever. And I'm going to put this through my outer corner of my crease. I'm excited to see how these two blend together because I haven't used them together yet. But I think they're gonna look really cool. Okay, I really like the way those two blended together. So now I'm going to take the shade Earthship to, oh my god, I can't even see. The shade Earthship to deepen things up. And I'm just going to take that through my outer corner and my crease. So I just blended that all out. I really like the way that looks actually. I think it's really cool. a cool like brighter green. So I'm just going to quickly hop off camera, cut my crease, and then be back. Okay, I'm back. My crease is cut. So I'm just going to quickly tap into a little bit of Mint Fever and run that over the edge, like near the front of my eye. And then I'm also going to take some of that and tap that onto my lid as well. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Earthship, which is that darker green, and do the same thing, just deepen up around the concealer. And deepen my outer corner as well. So now on the middle of my lid, I'm going to take the shade Aloe Cove, which is this really beautiful, like minty duochrome shade. I'm gonna spray that and just pop this on my lid. For a little pop, now I'm going to take the shade Stained Glass. I'm just going to take this on the other side of my brush. I wiped it off. I'm going to spray this as well. And I'm going to put this on the inner part of my lid. I think they blend together pretty well because that teal does have that pink shift, so it kind of helps them merge together a little bit more. And then I'm just going to take those shades on my finger and just intensify them. I did have to build that pink up quite a bit. It's not very opaque, it's pretty sheer. And then lastly, I'm just going to take the tiniest little bit of Mint Fever and just make sure that everything's blended together. For my lower lash line, I think I'm just going to say fuck it, let's do all the colors. So I'm going to take the shade Nouveau, which is this like rosy mauve shade. And I'm going to run this all along my lower lash line. So now I'm going to take the shade Peach Soju, which is this rosy shade. Let me just clean this brush off. I'm going to use a clean brush. And I'm going to use that to blend this out. And then because I want more depth to my lower lash line, I actually am just going to go in with a black. So I'm going to use the black from the Kaleidos Sci-Fi Green, just because sometimes if I have a black in a certain formula, I just use them together. And then I'm just going to run this along my lower lash line. Okay, and so because we've definitely got a lot going on, I'm just going to use my face highlighter for my inner corner brow bone. I'm using the Kaleidos Space Age highlighter in Ray Rider. So I'm just going to pop a tiny bit of this on my brow bone. Too much. And take this, like I said, on my inner corner. Okay, so I'm just gonna hop off camera, finish up the rest of my face, figure out what the fuck type of lip I'm gonna put with this, and then be back to, I guess, give a conclusion. I kind of forgot that I had to do that today for this video. Okay, and this is the finished look. On my lips, I just used the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in Sandstorm. This is kind of my go-to nude lip liner recently, and then I just used the Essence like clear gloss. I wasn't sure what to do, so I just went with like a nude. Please excuse the dog. But yeah, I really like this look, and I guess it's time for, am I filming? Just let me check. Yes, I am. Okay. I guess I actually totally forgot that I have to do this, but giving a little bit of a summary and how I feel about this palette. Overall, it's grown on me a lot. Initially, like I said in my first impressions, I liked particularly this half of the palette. Like I liked parts of it individually, but the color story as a whole initially didn't really appeal to me. But I have to say, I've really grown to enjoy it. I feel like you can get a ton of different looks out of this palette just for it being like only 9 shadows, but you can get like a ton of variety, which is something that I really appreciate. And I feel like these do work together well, and they complement each other well in a way that I wasn't initially anticipating to happen. I also really love the packaging. I know, again, I talked about this before. A lot of people don't like it, but as someone who, like, I use just a little handheld mirror to do my eyeshadow, I like to get up really close. So typically I don't use palettes for, like, their mirrors, but this I could actually see using because I'll just hold it up, and it's just, like, easier. You just, like, set this part of the palette down. It's pretty easy to just, like, click it on. I don't think, unless you're really just like not paying attention, I don't think you'd really have too much of an issue in terms of like digging this into an eyeshadow. It's not a super strong magnet, but it's strong enough that it's not gonna like fall all over the place, you know? So I actually really like this, and the artwork on this palette is just beautiful. And I really, really like it. The criticism that I have about this palette, number one, the shade Stained Glass, which is the pink that's in my inner corner today. I used this in my first look as well. It's a little bit more hard pressed, and it's very sheer, like very much a toppery shade. Whereas this Aloe Cove shade is also like more sheer, but you can get it to be a little bit more opaque. This one, even now, I can still kind of see my skin through it. And it definitely doesn't show up this like really bright fuchsia. So I think it's pretty. It's definitely not my favorite shade in the palette. I don't think it's a dud. It's just going to depend on how you use it. I think it was really pretty in the first look that I did, kind of just tapping it all over my lid. And I really, really love this green shade. This is more of a traditional metallic, but it's still really, really sparkly. I really, really love it, and it's more opaque. The second criticism that I have of this palette is just that, I've mentioned this before as well, that this green, the shade Earthship, and this like mauvey tone, the shade Nouveau, were deeper. They are okay, as you can see, like I kind of was able to build them up, but I definitely would want them like probably 1 to 2 like steps down in terms of depth. I just think that it's just going to make it more applicable for more skin tones, because they show up on me and they can build on me, but I wonder if you have a really rich, deep skin tone, how they're going to show up. I really love this Mint Fever shade. It's a beautiful like minty teal shade that built up, blended really well, was really opaque, wasn't super like ashy. I really love that a lot. And yeah, so overall I do really enjoy this palette. I am disappointed that they discontinued this Sci-Fi Green palette. I don't necessarily think they're exact dupes. I think you can definitely get similar looks using this kind of using these 4 shades over here that you could get with the Sci-Fi Green palette, but I really, really love it, and I am sad that they discontinued it, but I think you could get definitely a similar effect. And that's kind of my thoughts on the palette. I have used all of these shades because there's only 9. Like, I've used them all, and I've used them pretty extensively. I didn't, as I don't really have any issues with like fading or fallout or anything like that with these shades, maybe with the exception of Sun Gazer, but it's just a little bit more flaky. And obviously you can just do your base first if that's going to bother you. It doesn't really bother me. And they blended well, they were pigmented, they built on each other, and I didn't notice any patchiness with this palette, which sometimes layering Kaleidos' mattes, I have found that they have a tendency sometimes to get a little bit patchy. I didn't notice that with this palette, and I did layer these shades a ton. Like, everything looks really, really beautiful and blended and built on each other, no patchiness, so I really appreciate that as well. I think it's unavailable right now, but I know it's supposed to be a permanent palette, I believe, in their line. So I think it should be coming back at some point in the future. Let me know if you guys bought this. I know I saw some people say that this was their first Kaleidos palette, or that they got it and they really love it, or that it's coming to them. So hopefully this helped maybe give inspiration or something, or it was just fun to watch me apply eyeshadow. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there's any other videos that you'd like me to film, or palettes that you want me to use in videos like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.